So, Georgios, I took a trip the other day.
I noticed you went all the way to your bedroom in Berlin to make a phone call to somebody who wasn't in your bedroom in Berlin.
Well, I was inspired. I bought one of those Best of the 80s albums.
Excellent.
But there was an interesting track there.
Okay.
By seminal band Toto.
Ah.
And
was it Hold the Line?
It was Suzanne. Was that a Toto song? They did another one. They had
sure.
three. They had three.
Yeah, that's right.
It was
Toto
called
had
Suzanne.
3 songs. Yes, that's correct.
I felt the rain down in Africa, Georgios, so I thought I would call the people at the Chrysalis Project, who just recently held a board game convention in the wilds and the non-wilds of Africa, Georgios.
Yes, but not just any Africa, but one part of Africa. Did you know, by the way, that there's a place in Africa called Uganda?
Uganda?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see stuff.
Oh my God. Oh, I think Noel Coward wants a word.
I had an interview with the guys who ran the board game convention in Gulu in the north of Uganda. And yeah, we had a chat and just basically talked about what they'd done, how they'd done it. So
yeah, it's a very good chat, and I would highly recommend just, so listeners can actually put faces to the voices that they're about to hear now. There's a YouTube video of the convention as well. The link for it is in the show notes. Give the video a look, just a quick skip to see the faces of young people enjoying board games, and then listen to them talk about the experience on this interview.
So I talked to Ben, I talked to Patrick, I talked to Arnold, and I talked to Beckham about the Board Game Con in Africa. Excellent. I am very excited. From my cozy room in Berlin, Germany, am speaking all the way to Uganda, and I believe I'm speaking to Kampala. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm speaking to Kampala, and I'm here with Arnold, Beckham and Ben, who were the organisers of a video many of you may have seen, which was a board game convention that was organised in Gulu, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Gulu in northern Uganda. And so, before I ask you about the con, just all three of you just tell me who you are, what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Ben. I am the director of the Butterfly Project, and I guess I'm working with a team here in Uganda, yeah, I was the one that kind of oversaw the convention itself, but I didn't do a lot of work in it. I just what all the others were working on.
And give us a brief overview of what the Butterfly Project is.
The Butterfly Project is a training project for teenagers to become social entrepreneurs, change makers. And we do a training program, and we try to give young people an opportunity to run their own projects and be the ones that do things rather than the ones that follow other people's ideas. So that's how it works.
Excellent. So, gentlemen, can you introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Dodo Arnold, and I've taken up the board games project from there was a cohort 3 who was running it called Kenneth, but I've taken it up since he's not around, so I'm doing it as per now.
Okay, I'm Beckham, and I deal with computer games, and I'm interested in playing computer games that help people positively, that impact something socially.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And can you tell me, guys, how you got into board gaming and how long you've been playing?
Okay, for me, it was one day. I was at this school called St. Joseph, which is near the Butterfly Center, right here in Kampala. And it was a Sunday where they were going to do a Hearthstone tournament for the Chrysalis kids. So I also came, I joined him, and I played it. The first time it didn't go well, they beat me. But I've been learning to be the best of the best. So for me, by now I'm sure I'm good at Hearthstone. That's my
You know, I tried to play Hearthstone, much too complicated for me. And I've been playing games for years, and I will never be the best of the best. I will always get beaten by everybody.
No, if you believe in yourself, you can make it.
I'll take that advice. Arnold. So, Beckham, how did you get into gaming?
Okay, it was in 2014 when, the Butterfly Project came to a rural school that I was studying in Gulu, northern Uganda, and they introduced me to a game called Can, and that's how I got into playing board games, and it's interesting.
And Ben, how did you get into games?
Well, I guess when I was younger, because I'm quite a bit older than anyone else here.
Oh, but you look so young, Ben. I wouldn't have put you a day over 19.
But I used to love playing things like Careers and Rat Race when I was younger. And and even at school we used to have a games club that introduced me to board games. Yeah, so been playing on and off all this time. But I thought when I came to Uganda that the kids here would either like it or not, and it turns out they really do like it.
Fabulous. So going on from there, gentlemen, can you tell me what it is about games that appeals to you? What do you like about playing games?
Well, for me, what I like about games, they're fun. They're fun. Cooperation, working together. There's that big teamwork. I like that so much. Upgrading your character. There are some board games where you have characters which you can upgrade, like Robo Rally. That one, I like upgrading characters. Something like role playing. I think you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those stuff so much.
So you told me you win Robo Rally all the time, is that right?
Yeah, I win. Okay, I don't like this one where you have to run to the flags and stuff. I like this team battle, that one, where you have to go and upgrade yourself so that your robot is very strong so that it can manage the rest. Yeah.
And Beckham, what do you like about games?
The fact that some other games can be applied in real life, like some aspects you get from playing games, just like, let me say, creativity. Some games, you have to be creative. You think creatively in order to win the game, and in real life, you also have to think creatively, sure. Because there are some situations where, things don't go very well for you, but then if you think properly, it'll go your way.
So do you think games help you in aspects of your life? Do games help you to understand about losing and winning?
Yeah.
Sure.
And if you lose the first time, you never stop trying, Keep on trying and you'll make it.
So games aren't just about fun, they're about doing something and thinking about life while you play, yeah? Absolutely fantastic. So let's talk then about the convention. So first of all, whose idea was it to have a fully fledged big board game convention up in Gulu?
It was my idea. And the reason as to why I had to come up with that idea is before we have some holidays before, we went up to Gulu and played a couple of board games with them, and the response and feedback we got from them was all positive. So this time we thought that we could organize something bigger so that we show them that we could go to the next level, and that's why we brought in some other things like computer board games and stuff like that.
And so what were the big problems with organizing? What were the difficulties?
The difficulties were raising the money. We first thought that we wouldn't make it, but we finally made it. The container costs also being a little bit, it was also a problem for someone because they were decreasing. they were increasing the costs on the laptops and stuff. So it's still a problem because the container has not yet been released as per now. It has reached Uganda, but it has not yet been released. So Ben is trying so hard with all his energy and stuff in order to find the money.
So how did you get the money in the end?
Well, most of the money came from board game fans from around the world, from many, many different countries. And we originally set ourselves a target. We said, well, we probably could manage with about £500 and to put something small on. But in the end, we raised more than £3,000.
Wow.
And that money simply came from people who knew about board games and who wanted us to be the ones to introduce the board games to children and young people in the rural areas in Uganda. It was just a very wonderful thing.
And so are these board games a completely new thing for Uganda? Had people never seen them before?
As I can say is that most Ugandans, like I can say that the kids in the villages know board games better than others in other parts of Uganda and maybe in Africa. I don't know.
But these types of board games, yeah. They
So like Seven Wonders and Robo Rally, things like this?
They don't know.
They don't know them.
They don't know them.
But they know their own games, and they really enjoy things like Onwesa
Droughts.
and drafts. And yeah. So there are certain board games that almost every child knows when they're growing up. But so it's kind of a natural thing for them to say, okay, well, let me try this new game. Let me try another one. And as it stands, they've only really got 2 or maybe 3 games in their repertoire. But there's an excitement to learn a lot more of those.
Absolutely. So you told me about Onwesu yesterday when we were having a chat. Is there anyone there who can explain to my listeners what Onwesu is? Because I've never heard of it.
Almost I can call it a village board game, and it normally deals with maths and thinking, as I'm saying, because you have to think of how to get your other opponent's pieces to your side. So it's all about, you start with the same amount of pieces. So to win the game, you have to have more than, like, your opponent has to have something that can't play with anymore. Like only 1 piece in 1 hole, maybe 2 pieces. So
is it like Mancala? Someone told me it was like Mancala. You have to pick up pieces and move them around. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But in the villages, they will dig holes.
Holes, yeah.
To play, and then find stones to put in the holes, and so you don't even really need a board or whatever. But we gave away special sets in the convention to the winners. So we gave away 4 sets, which were made by the Kabaka.
The Kabaka's Palace.
Fantastic. So Beckham, are you the Gulu world champion at Onwesu?
Not really, because there are very many that can beat me, and they are not easy in such games.
Joseph is one.
Joseph's very good, yeah. So going back to the convention. So how did you split up the duties? Who did what?
The duties were split up like according to everyone's capabilities and what everyone liked. Because I didn't force anyone like you should do this. I let them choose what to do.
And so so we're missing some of the organisers today. So we're missing Patrick, Joseph. So what did you do and what did they do?
Okay, well, for me, I took on the board games side. I was doing all the board games. Okay, there are some 2 more we
Trials,
board game trials. There are some 2 more we added some C4 North, for them that stay there in Gulu. I was working with those two, so we were 3 people on the board game tryouts. We spread out ourselves and did. Okay, for Joseph, he took on the Omaso tournament or championship, so he was the one organizing it, and also the Robo Rally. He was helped by the C4 North. They were doing.
Was there a tournament of Robo Rally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you play in it?
No, we wanted the kids to what? For me, I was busy teaching them the other board games. When they come from there, they come to me. I teach them.
Also, it's not fair because you always win at Robo Rally, so
Yeah.
it's not fair on everyone else.
Yeah, it's not fair, but
We were really impressed with the rural children with Robo Rally. It was one. We thought it was good because there wasn't too much English for them because they don't speak very good English. But it's also a bit of a brain bender game as well. But we found there were many children 8, 9, and 10 who were fine, and they mastered it by the end of the time. So we have no fear in bringing these types of games in the future.
Fantastic. And Beckham, what did you do so it was your idea? What did you do at the convention itself?
I handled the computer board gaming side and the games I had already played, like board games I had already played, so we had the Steam games and they played them on computers. Then for Patrick, he handled the Caverns of Coral. Okay, the Steam games were, for example, we had Splendor, Patchwork, and Ticket to Ride, Small World, and among others.
Fabulous. On the computers, yeah?
Yeah. And
Amazing.
Patrick handled the Caverns of Coral.
So what's the Caverns of Coral?
He designed an adventure for the kids up in Coral. He did everything in it, like getting them the characters, making the map, writing down the stuff like that. So he designed.
And so you have some connection with Paizo, is that correct?
Yes.
Maybe I should talk about that. Yeah, we've had a lot of support from Paizo up to now. They spotted what Patrick had been doing maybe a couple of years ago, introducing new people to role-playing. And Patrick has been up to Coro before, and he's introduced the rural children, but also a lot of the children, because in the area where we are right now, which is a very large slum area, and so lots of the young people that live in this area also know all about role-playing, and that's pretty much down to Patrick, because he set up very many different groups and taught people to be GMs and things like that. In Paizo, they sent us, just over here, we've got many core rule books, and we've got very many adventures here which have all been supported through Paizo, who do the Pathfinder. So many thanks to them for that.
And so the Caverns of Coro is a special Ugandan Pathfinder adventure, is that right?
Designed by Patrick.
Designed by Patrick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So how has the reception of role-playing been over there? Do you enjoy role-playing?
The aspects are very good, like you have to work in teams and negotiation. When you talk about negotiation, you can meet someone that you think might be like from the environment, you will find that the other person in, so you'll just have to negotiate because you won't think you think that environment, according to the environment, the person might be like someone bad, and so you'll have to negotiate, though you won't like have to mind of the person's response, like what do you want, and
So Arnold's a Barcelona fan, Beckham is a Manchester United fan, and I'm a Liverpool fan. Do you think we could cooperate playing Pathfinder?
well,
I don't see the problem. Why not?
Well, Beckham's a Manchester United fan. That's very difficult to cooperate with a Liverpool fan, though. Manchester United are terrible and Liverpool are great. So, So going back to the con, can you tell me what was the setup? How many rooms did you have? Where did you play? In what kind of buildings? Explain to us what the con looked like.
Okay, we had 2 rooms where one room was used for the computer board games, and the other room was used for the board game tryouts. And others enjoyed having theirs, like the Caverns of Korea enjoyed having his in a hut.
Wow.
Yeah.
To make it a little bit fun, kind of.
Yeah, the atmosphere must have been amazing to sit in a hut and play an adventure.
And then the rest of them enjoyed playing theirs outside, girls under the tree shades, and
To enjoy them.
Yeah, quite a lot under the tree, wasn't there?
yeah.
There's no electricity there, so inside the huts, and inside the building, there's no light. So you had to have the doors open so it gives enough light so people could see what they were playing.
Incredible. So the con had to stop when the sun went down then?
Yeah,
No late night gaming?
Well, if the sun was giving them a problem, maybe the GM Patrick would say, well, it's getting hotter in the city, and
And so was it just one day, the con, or was it more than one day?
Okay, it was 3 days, but
3 days.
but we went there for 10 days, right? Is it 10 or 9?
we had 7 days organizing
We were starting up the center
and recruiting the kids.
Fantastic. So where did the kids come from? From what kind of distance did they come to attend?
Like others moved 40 kilometers to come to the convention, and the first day, we had 50 children there. So the next day, 80 turned up. So
Wow.
that because they had said that they would go and tell other friends. So I think they did a very good job on that.
Okay, on the third day, the 110.
110 people came.
Yeah.
Was there enough space for everyone to play?
Yeah. The space was enough.
If it was raining, then probably no, because we had to use outside, didn't we? 110, we weren't expecting quite that many. And we even on the Saturday, we said that people would have to walk that day. But they walked, and some of them walked 10 kilometers to come to the convention from the town just outside just outside the town of Gulu, because we are 12 kilometers from the town, and they walk from there. So we never imagined that they would do that, but they did.
And so what do you think the attendees got from the con? What did the kids who came to play, what did they get out of it?
I think what they got was fun. They got experience of new board games. They also developed in their thinking about board games. That's what I think. Most especially where there is Robo Rally, Cosmic Encounter, there, Seven Wonders, those games.
And some of the feedback we got from the kids was because we asked one of them that, what good thing did you learn today? And one of them said, I got a chance to, get my hands on a computer, so... and he thought...
I guess not everybody has a computer there.
No. Almost none.
Fabulous. And so what did you get out of arranging the con, running it? What did you get out of it at the end?
I also enjoyed it because there was a comment which was saying that go and have fun. I also went and had fun. I also got that courage of explaining to people few more experience on playing to people, because I wasn't able. I had gone in an environment where I didn't know the language, so I had to cope up with the language. So there are some cases where I needed someone to explain, but I think I learned how to explain properly to someone.
So Beckham, you're from Gulu, but Arnold, you're not, and you don't speak the language up there, right?
Yeah.
So I got a chance to like show my leadership skills, and because we had adults there who didn't know who don't speak English and didn't know how to play any of the games, and Ben wouldn't help because he like doesn't know the language. So I'm the one who is supposed to be there to get them do everything, and as we say, Ben didn't do much in the cons.
What did you do, Ben? Sit under a tree?
Well, I think my job was just to make sure that everyone had something to do, and that if we did get kids come there, that they went to somewhere that was suitable for them. So yeah, that was my main role, and hopefully making sure that everyone was happy.
Everything was in place. Getting the stuff, the computer is there.
Yeah, and because I think Patrick also had to get people to his event, because the hut, in fact there was a series of 3 huts. The huts were a little way away from the other building, so people had to move from the other building to the huts, and so they were moving from one place to the other.
Receptionist.
Yeah, the receptionist.
Excellent. So, is this the only time, or is there going to be another GuluCon or a KampalaCon at some point in the future?
Okay, we have always planned, we have planned to have the con every May up in Gulu, and then this year we will have an event in the beginning of September. Yeah, first and second, third.
Second and third.
So it will be
2nd and 3rd of September in Kampala at in the centre of Kampala. We call that Kampala Games Day. Patrick's just arrived here, so.
Yeah, that's
Hello, Patrick, Dungeon Master. Patrick, we've almost finished, but while you're here, can you tell us what you got from doing the con? What did you get out of it? What did you like? What did you not like? What was stressful? What was cool? All of that sort of stuff.
I got a lot. One of the things I got was some experience of how to run a convention, because when normally we are organizing, we don't organize a convention in a very, very fun way. We don't put there a variety of activities, so some of the kids might not like the activities put across. But one thing I got was that you put a variety of activities so that the kids can learn from it. If they feel like they want to continue with this, they can continue. If they don't feel like it, they can go to the next one. That's one thing I learned. Another thing that I learned was that the kids can be stressful, but you just have to look for a way of handling them. And one thing which is stressful is me personally, I set up my activities in English. So if at all I go there and some of the kids don't know English, it will make it very hard for me to deliver my activity, because first of all, I can't translate it later from English to the local language, because I would have to misinterpret it somewhere. That's one challenge. If I make my activities in English, then it's time for delivering, and then the kids don't understand English. That one would make it a bit hard for me to deliver, because I would have to get someone to translate it, or if I'm to translate it myself, I would somehow, somewhere misinterpret it for them. They would not understand it the way I mean them to understand it. That's one challenge which I got as I was running my activities. Then I think a possible way to that one is that if I'm at all ever going to make a convention like that one, I must first of all see to it that I make my activities in English, but I have another version which is in local language, so that delivering it would be easier.
Fabulous. So, just to finish then, where do we get to see the video that you made of the con? Where can we read more about what you do? And when you have the convention next May, do I get an invitation?
It's open.
You're invited.
I'm invited. Good.
Yeah, it's open for people to come to if they wanted to, or particularly if they wanted to demonstrate some games. It's quite difficult to teach because you need to teach people who speak English. So that is that issue. The Kampala event is completely different, as most people in Kampala, particularly the young people, will speak very good English. But in the village it's quite different, so it's important to have the local language skills. So teaching a new game, you'd need an interpreter, but it would work. It would be possible. And of course, in the village, no electricity, amenities very few. What they were talking about, fire ants. They had lots of interesting insects, many mosquitoes, and a lot of mud. And
that makes the role playing much more exciting.
Yeah.
You have real monsters to fight while you role play.
Yeah.
there's giant mosquitoes and things like
Giant fire ants.
Well, another thing to add on the point that Ben mentioned, which is to teach, like if it's a foreign person teaching them in English, it would be very hard for them to understand the accent. That's also an issue.
And that's why Ben was the receptionist.
Yeah.
But if people want to see the video, then
Yeah.
it's on YouTube, and our YouTube account is Chrysalis Uganda, as it's spelled, Chrysalis Uganda, all one word. We have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Chrysalis Center. So people can kind of follow what we're doing there. We are a UK charity, which is Chrysalis Youth Empowerment Network, which is cyen.org.uk. So if people want to read up on us, that's what we do.
And if people want to give you money to help you with the con, how would they do that?
Well, there's information on the charity website about donations.
So that's cyen.org, cyen.org, yeah?
.uk, yes.
.uk.
Yeah. So certainly that could be possible. We may be doing a fundraiser for the Kampala event soon, and we would really welcome many people to come across to that if they were interested in it. It should be really good. It's much more comfortable. There'll be proper chairs and tables, and a big opportunity for people to come and drop over to Kampala and teach a lot of young people in Kampala lots of things that they've never seen before. So we're calling that Kampala Games Day. But if that's too soon, at the beginning of September, then people would be welcome to come up to the Uganda Village Wood Games Convention, which will be in May of 2018.
Fabulous. So, see if I can remember people's names then. So we have Joseph, Arnold, Beckham and Ben. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Patrick.
I almost remembered.
You almost.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, and hopefully I'll see you in May, and then I can be beaten by Arnold at Robo Rally. So I spoke to the guys after we did the interview, and I was talking to them, and I asked them sort of what games do they have, and they said they had about 25, 30 games, and sort of notable ones amongst this were Seven Wonders and Robo Rally, and I said to them, do you want more games? And they said, of course. And I said, so if I asked our community whether they would be interested in donating games to them, would you be interested in having them? And they said, yeah, absolutely, this would be wonderful. And they said, it doesn't matter if you double up on games either, because there's a lot of people playing out there and the games are getting dog-eared and they need, replacements. And so I said, okay, well, let's ask our beautiful listeners if they'd be interested in maybe donating a couple of games to the good cause,
Yes, it's a good cause. It's getting games into the hands of people who enjoy them, which is odd because we are the people who enjoy them, but we want to share the love because we're very maudlin today. So,
well, that's the point. I mean, I can afford to buy a game, and more importantly, I have a game shop in my city, whereas these guys in Uganda, they would have to travel to somewhere else to buy them.
Yeah, that seems kind of a challenge. But I was quite impressed that, well, the moment where I realized that this would be a brilliant idea was when I looked at the video, again, in the show notes, follow the link, and one of the guys, I forgot the name, I think it was a young man called Sam, who was talking about Cosmic Encounter, and that was the moment I realized these people have their heads screwed on right. They cherish and appreciate Cosmic Encounter, and they are definitely qualified to get more games to sort of, compare to Cosmic Encounter. What I'm trying to say is Cosmic Encounter.
Yeah, so what basically we want to do is we want to get a collection together. We want to have you, the listeners, you have two choices, basically. Either you can donate us some games. These are games... if you have games you don't play, games you think you're never going to play again, I asked them what sort of level of games they wanted, what sort of depth, and they said anything, basically anything they would be really stoked to receive. So either you donate us games, or, of course, sending a box of games out to Uganda is going to be expensive. And me and Georgios are both poor. So, there's two ways you can help, basically. Either you can donate games, and we'll have a pinned post on our Facebook page and a forum on the Guild, and you can tell us and we'll tell you how you can make a donation, or you can go to our support button and you can donate a bit of money to help us send the games over. And basically we'll run this for about 2 or 3 weeks. We'll collect as much as we can and then hopefully send some games over and get them played.
Pretty much, yeah. So you have two choices. You can either help us with games or help us with money, or accept the fact that you're a heartless, cold bastard. But you're a pretty bastard because you're listening to us.
All right, so go on our Facebook page, go on our Guild.
2348.
And exactly. And let's send these lads some games over. Say goodnight, Georgios.
I have boxes to pack.